Second gear. So we've bought something I didn't think I would honestly ever own. We bought basically a junkyard Miata to turn into a race car for cheap. And here she is. So this is the gem in all its glory. I paid just under 700 bucks for this thing. No idea if it runs or drives. No idea about anything to do with it. But in this series, we're gonna show you how to turn this turd into a pretty awesome little spec Miata race car. And you can follow along and maybe even learn a few things about how to build a race car on a budget. So first we're going to talk about what is kind of Miata racing and what are the different options of things you can do. So the most common Miata racing is called spec Miata. Now this is competitive wheel-to-wheel racing, which you do with regional organizations such as NASA or SCCA, and it requires some modification to the Miata. The suspension stuff is kind of expensive, but it is a ton of fun, and these cars run extremely fast for the horsepower levels that they are. Now, you do not have to do wheel-to-wheel racing with these cars. You can also do track days. This will be a lot more budget-friendly for you because you are not limited to any certain types of parts. Spec Miata, you have to follow a very close set of rules to be able to race the car, whereas a track day car, you can choose whatever kind of parts fit your budget, whether they're the cheapest coilovers for the suspension you can find, or maybe you have a lot of money and want to use the most expensive ones. But a track day gives you much broader options of parts to pick from. But your track day car will not be allowed to compete in races. You will not be able to do wheel-to-wheel racing with your track day car unless that is a time attack or something of that nature. So my starting point for our spec Miata build is going to be the $700 1994 NA Miata. No idea if anything works. It definitely looks rough. I mean, not that the interior matters because that's all going to be stripped out, but it definitely looks rough. We didn't get much spare parts with the car. I think it has a bad clutch, so it did come with a new pressure plate, clutch, or throwout bearing. And we've got the best of the best. Let's see here. We got the best of the best O'Reilly Super Start battery in this thing. So we're going to fire it up and we're going to see if she even runs or not. Now, when you decide to buy a project race car, it's always best to buy the best possible car you can afford. Whether that's a fully prepped car ready to go, or maybe you found a car with a blown up engine that already has the cage in it and stuff. Whatever is the closest to what you want to do with it, and is in your budget, that is the one that you should buy. So this was in my budget. It was 700 bucks. I have no clue whether it works or not, but it's going to be a fun build to turn this into a little track weapon, and we'll take you guys along for the ride so you guys can kind of see what it takes to build one of these from junkyard to racetrack. So let's go ahead and see. First things first, will this thing even start up? Now, I definitely jerry-rigged the key here, but that's okay. This thing did not come with a key because it came right from a junkyard. No key, so it's pretty simple. There's a lot of videos on YouTube about how to do this, and then you just stick a screwdriver in here, and we put a battery in it, and I made sure, it has oil in it, and that there's spark plugs in it, but we're gonna see if she'll start for the very first time. Wow, it kind of fired right up. Tack doesn't seem to work. Let's see here. It's not super responsive. Okay, we'll put it in reverse and see if it moves or not. Wow. We're actually moving backwards. Okay. Maybe we'll see if this thing will actually drive under its own power. To be honest with you, I didn't even think it was gonna move. All right, so we know reverse works. Let's go ahead and try first gear. Went in, will it move? Wow, it did. Motor doesn't sound very good. All right, let's try second gear. Oh, okay, that didn't sound very good. and it's definitely cutting in and out, which is not very good. All right, we'll go down the road here for try. Third gear was smooth. Brakes kind of seem to work. Definitely doesn't sound good. It's cutting in and out. What do you expect for 700 bucks? Fourth gear, pretty smooth. I got my foot floored right now, all the way down, and it's not doing anything. So I don't know what that would be, TPMS or something, but that's not good. Besides second gear, the transmission doesn't shift too bad. I'm kind of impressed with this car. All right, let's nail it. Yeah, we're floored and we're not going anywhere. So this thing is definitely not perfect. Uh-oh. Something just fell. I don't know what that was. All right. Doesn't want to go into first gear. Ugh. All right, first gear. Foot to the floor. Second gear. It was kind of moving. I don't think it's gonna make it too far, so let's... Oh, it turns good. Let's turn around and go back. Oh, no, don't die. Don't die. Oh boy. Let's hope it starts back up again. I can get the screwdriver in there. There it goes. There you go, baby. All right, come on. Yeah, clutch definitely slips. Oh. All right, we're just gonna limp her back, but it does move under its own power. Well, I'll give her this. She did move under her own power, which might have been a lot to ask. Ow, ow, ow. Really hot. I believe the thermostat might be stuck because it is hot. So she moved under her own power. So obviously the first step before you can do any performance modifications is that we're going to have to get her running good. Now, I don't know what that's going to entail. It seems like when you go to wide open or even when you're just anything but idling, it doesn't really have any kind of response. Now, I don't know whether that could be like a throttle position sensor or a cam angle sensor, or exactly, wow, it's actually, looks like it's smoking a little bit. I don't know exactly what that is, but either way, we're gonna get it figured out. That'll be the first step in the next video. We're gonna get a bunch of parts for it and make it run good. And then, after we make it run good, it will be into taking out the interior, putting in a race seat, roll cage, then probably work on the suspension a little bit. And then after we work on the suspension, maybe what will be next? We'll be doing the exhaust. For spec Miata, you have to upgrade the brake pads. And there's a whole long list of stuff. The nice thing about spec Miata is that you can find all this. You can just look up the class rules and you can look up spec Miata suspension package. And it'll pop right up with exactly what you need to buy to be able to race this class. So this car is definitely going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to build this as cheaply as possible, but still make it fast and go out and have some fun with it. Now you guys might be thinking to yourself, well, what the heck does this guy know about racing at all? He's just kind of a dipstick. Well, I know a little bit because I have been doing some racing. So let me show you guys what I do race. So this is my race car. Sorry, it's so dark in the trailer, but it's currently kind of hurt. But this is like an older Trans Am style, almost NASCAR, if you guys want to call it that. But I race this with SCCA. It's a ton of fun, and there'll be videos soon about getting it back on the track. And it's pretty much good. It just has a little damage on the rear end. But the Miata is going to be a totally different ball game than this thing. So it'll be very interesting to compare the two and see how much cheaper we can, if we can build the Miata cheaper than I built this thing for. So I believe that's going to wrap up the video for today. Thank you guys for watching. And if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. As soon as we get this thing, so the next episode will be getting this thing running good and driving good. And then we're going to be doing all the fun stuff to make it a fast little track car. So I hope you guys are excited to see that, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.